Hello friends, today I'm trying to make a flaky puff pastry with more of whole wheat rather than the regular refined flour. So what I'm taking is around 25% of white flour and 75% of whole wheat flour and around 80 ml of water and some premium margarine. You can take regular butter around 100 gram. This flour is around also 110 grams in total, and all these things I have refrigerated. This flour, also this butter, and this water is also very chilled, and the uh, utensil that I'll be using is also refrigerated right now while I'm talking to you. So everything will be very cold while I start mixing them. So what I'll do is initially only 20% of this shortening, that is butter, that I'll use to make up a dough with this, and then I'll refrigerate rest of them, and then once the dough comes up and the gluten develops, then I'll keep it back in the refrigerator, because right now it's 42 degrees out here, and the ambient temperature, and I'm really struggling to keep everything very cold. So very now and then I'll be keeping it refrigerating without recording it. So I hope you understand. Now I'll just start mixing all of these components. Now I have cut around 20% and removed it to make the dough, and now the rest of them I'll just pound it like this to loosen the butter, and put around half teaspoon of flour in this to make a mixture, and then refrigerate it immediately again, so that later I can put it while inside the dough to make it a puff pastry. Put the flour and the butter, 20% butter, you can see here it's in a cold utensil, and now I'll start putting the frozen water slowly and mix all of them. This is almost 100 gram flour recipe. You can accordingly multiply with the quantity you need to use it at your place, like 200 grams, so you have to double everything. Now slowly I will start adding water, and I will start incorporating the dough into the flour, because this whole wheat is normally low in gluten, so you won't see anybody making puff pastry out of this, because I need to be a bit health conscious, so I'm trying everything with whole wheat flour. I'm experimenting, keeping on experimenting. I tried this earlier and it came out fine, so I just thought to share it with you. At any point of time you feel that the butter is melting or it's not cold enough, immediately transfer it to fridge, and then after 10 minutes you can start your process. Slowly you have to keep on doing this, and when you are using your hand you have to use your fingers only. Try avoiding the main hand part. Now I have made a dough like this, and I have put it in the refrigerator since it was melting. It was getting warm, so now I have put it again, and I have keep on mixing it till a soft dough is formed with gluten, and if required I'll refrigerate it again. Now the dough is ready, and it's pliable also, but it's very cold, so I'll just flatten it a bit. Evenly flatten it, and just chop out 4 even corners of it, so that I can put the butter in it that I have readied out here. I'll just put it like this. I'll make sure put it in fridge if it is not cold enough. Now you have to just fold it from all the corners and incorporate the. Now I have started creating the layers. This has come up out of fridge right now, so I'll slowly kind of finalize this, and I'll keep on flattening it like this, and then once it reaches a certain level I'll just fold it like this and then keep it in fridge again and repeat it for around 10 times, so around 1500 to 2000 layers will form eventually, and then I'll cut it off. Now almost folding it for around 10 times. This is one of the pie pastry crusts, and if you can possibly see kind of layering that is there, so I'll just finalize it by further, you have to lightly dust the surface, and this itself was in fridge, the stones, so that you know the surface is cold, and the spin was also in the fridge. So now it is kind of thin, and then what I'll do is I'll cut off one of the surfaces, that is the corner ones where there is fold, so that there is no restriction regards its rise, and then possibly I'll this is a kind of sheet itself, so you can use it, you know, as per whatever, you know. So I just wanted to use it as regular puff biscuits, cookies, so that I can have it with tea. And you know, for this shape you can possibly put in some filling and just, you know, give it a fold like this or something, or you know, fold it 4 times like this, and then you know, can use it accordingly as a filled pastry. I'll make one of the pieces, square one, and I'll show you how it comes out. And the rest of the sheet that I have. Now the puff pastry is ready. I have greased the plate surface, and then put these sheets a bit of separation so that heat is evenly distributed. Now it's not very cold, it's just out of the fridge, and the butter is still intact. In the meantime, I have preheated my oven in convection mode for 240 degrees centigrade, and then I'll bake it at initially 7-8 minutes for 220, and then I'll bring down to around 180 for rest of the 4-5 minutes. More if you want, you know, you can bake it more 20-30 minutes if you want it more crispy. So preheating is necessary. While I open the door, the temperature will reduce, so I'll have to do it quickly, and I'll do it in 2 layers, the bottom and the middle one, once this gets preheated. Now the baking is complete, so I'll just take it out. I'll show you how it's come out. So now it is absolutely golden brown, and you can see here the puffing that has happened, since it's almost whole wheat, so you know it won't puff up so much, but it's very crispy. And you can hear the crisp. So you know, this was the side piece, also puffed up very well, and I'll make one in filled up potato sandwich and see potato puff and how it comes out. So in all, it was a good experiment with whole wheat. You can try it at your home and let me know. You can see the different layers that comes up. So you know, it's necessary that you make the dough properly, and the butter melts and the water evaporates at high temperature, and once the butter melts and the water evaporates, this layer gets created. So this is kind of very crunchy. You can hear the noise, and if I just break it, you can see very easily it's getting broken, and you know, You can see the layers. You can see the flakiness also, and if I eat it, you can hear the crunch. So it comes up very good. And at the bottom also you can see proper browning has happened. I did for around 20 minutes at around 220 degrees centigrade, that is around 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and it keep up very well. You can add any herb seasoning or any flavoring that you want, so that get extra flavor to have it as a snack or with tea or anything, or any dip or any salsa or anything like that. This is one of the puff pastry. This is filled with roasted potato. I have made it using the same sheets that I have created right now, and it has got a really good rise. You can see the different layers that's coming through it, and it's quite puffed up from all the corners. It's very flaky and very puffy, and the top texture is also a light brownish. I had done an egg wash of it with egg white and water mixture, and it has really come out very good. So this way you can add up the pastry sheets and make according to your own choice.